the key word is that the man will be provider. The key word is that woman will obey and be obedient. Now, and I'm so glad that Ibrahim brought out this fact that women have been and continue to be major economic contributors to family income in all segments of society, irrespective of whatever their faith persuasion may be. There are numerous studies, I myself have carried out in Indian context, and we have found them. So, what I therefore conclude from that position is this, that the man really has not been a provider the way it was expected the man should have been. The women have had to go out and work, and at the same time we place upon them the burden of rearing the family to bring up the children. And if I know the Indo-Pak men, which I think I should know, then we think, my mother thought that sons were God's special gift, and there is so much of evidence about the infanticide of females in this subcontinent. So men don't want to do much more than what they are doing. The burden is continuously transferring on to women, and they have carried it ever so long. I really don't know why they want to go out and work. I really don't know why they want to go out. I think they should possibly agree with you and say, hey, tell these men to be good providers before they ask me to obey them.
I agree with you, brother. The burden has to be borne by the males, and let me state here, this is the worst exploitation of women. They bear children, they suckle them, they rear them, and they have to go out also to work. A stay-at-home mom is the biggest blessing for the children. We are actually
we need a revolution here.
So I am always speaking of a revolution.
We need a different kind of revolution here, altogether different kind, where we bring
one aspect of that revolution you dislike, but the other you like it. We should continue our dialogue.
Sure. I have a question here. In an ideal Islamic society, perhaps you touched upon that and I may have missed it, but would women be allowed to vote for a president or someone, let's say?
I said in the morning, yes, they will vote. And women who are beyond that age can also be elected for the parliament. Yes.
For childbirth. Yeah, childbirth.
The age which sister referred, you know.
Okay, I just another quick question regarding women and if they were permitted by the husband to work, would she be expected to share part of her wealth or earnings, I should say, with the husband?
There is nothing haram about it, but she cannot go and work in an environment where there is mixing of men and women. I told she can be a teacher, she can be a lady doctor, she can be a nurse, but you know the working hours of women's duty should be less, so that they can look after their...
So he's asking about the earnings.
Well, a teacher, if she's working, she's earning.
Yeah, is he going to share it with her husband or not?
Is she expected to share the earnings
No.
with the husband?
No, it will be her. But if she does it voluntarily, it's good.
That's a different story. Thank you.
Dr. Markham, last question maybe.
It's been generally accepted that between 5 and 10% of the human population, in whatever country they live, are homosexual. About 5 to 10% of the population is homosexual. How would Islam regard these people? How would they?
It's a very big sin to be punished.
How would they be punished?
That can be a ta'zeer, you know. A punishment can be fixed by the state. It has not been mentioned in Quran. We have two types of punishments. One which have been mentioned specifically in Quran and the Hadith, and the others which a state, Islamic state, can determine itself. But I missed your point. What percentage of people are homosexual according to your idea?
Between 5 to 10%.
5 to 10%.
Actually, if I may make a comment on this, I have just read a hadith which is authentic, in which the Prophet said, in this instance, when two of same sex commit, homosexuality or, this sexual relations, then the doer as well as the one who is they should be killed.
Actually, I am not an expert in Islamic law. That's not my subject. And why? This is because unless there is the will at the national level to establish and enforce Islamic law, there is no use in going into these discussions. So first of all, a revolution has to be brought about. And after that there will be a decision that now Islamic law is to be enforced. Then we shall have dialogue among ourselves. What is really Islamic and what is something which has come from outside.
Can I just, I'm an observer, I'm sorry to butt in. Regarding the statement that 5 to 10% people are homosexual, there is a very strong scientific study that regarding animals, in their natural habitat, they don't exhibit homosexuality. In a zoo, they do.
In a zoo, they do?
In a zoo, they do. There are 7 or 8 things which include, for instance, obesity is also something that animals, get into in a zoo, but not in their natural habitat. Somewhere, the current day, modern day civilization is producing pressures and stresses which are causing this thing. I don't disagree with the figures, but the cause is something that we need to look at. Maybe the kind of solution that Dr. Israr is presenting will take care of this side. So somewhere sort of contesting that this is a national thing. I think the national thing is, of course,
heterosexual.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. See you.
I thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La